My dear student, a warm welcome to all for the Pariksha Vani revision classes. In this class, we will recall the facts on light reflection and refraction. We are going to recall the reflection of light, reflection in mirrors, their uses, then refraction of light through glass slab, lenses and their uses, and numerical problems based on mirrors and lenses, and method of drawing ray diagram for the refraction and as well as reflection of light, and lastly the power of the lens. So my dears, for the point of view of examination, this lesson is very important. You can expect a statement problems and a questions and a higher order thinking questions like HOTS. So now it is easy to write the effective answer if you are going to recall the concepts on this lesson. So before going to start, let us recall the properties of light. As you all know that light is a form of energy which help us to see the object. When light falls on an object, it reflects and the reflected light reach our eyes, then we see the object. That is the property help us to identify the object, to see the wonders of the world. The light travels in a straight line, you know that. The common phenomena of light are formation of shadow, formation of images by mirrors and lenses, bending of light by a medium, twinkling of stars, and formation of rainbow, etc. So these are all named under reflection, refraction, dispersion, then scattering of light, polarization. See, here you are seeing images. So the first image showing you is on reflection of light, the second is on refraction, this is on dispersion, this is also dispersal of light through a prism. So let us recall the meaning of reflection as well as the laws associated with the reflection of light. What is reflection? You know that whenever a light falls on an object or highly polished surface like mirror, most of the light is sent back to the same medium. This process is called reflection of light. Then what are the two laws associated with reflection? You have already learnt. Just recall. The angle of incidence to the angle of reflection is equal. That is, the angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflection. Then incident ray, the reflected ray and the normal to the mirror at the point of incidence all lie in the same plane. So we have to recall the terms associated with these two. So one is incident ray, reflected ray, then normal, angle of incidence and angle of reflection. Here the ray of light from a source is called as incident ray, and which is falls on a surface. The point of incidence will be here, I am showing you. So if you are going to draw the perpendicular, that will be the normal. Then from that point there will be a reflection of light. Then if you are going to measure the angle between the incident ray to the normal will be the incident angle. Similarly, if you are going to measure the angle between the normal to the reflected ray will be the angle of reflection. So these are all known to you people. So you have to practice, you have to recall again. Now let us come to the mirrors, the plane mirror as well as curved mirrors. You know that a plane mirror, how the image is formed in the plane mirror and where it is going to be used, all those things are known to you people. So just recall the properties of the image formed in the plane mirror. The first is the image is erect. Erect means a straight image will be formed. The image is same size as the object. So object height as well as the image height will be same in case of plane mirror. The image is at the same distance from the mirror as the object is in front of it. As we move away from the mirror, our image will be, so move back to the mirror, it is a known thing. Then The image is virtual, that is cannot be obtained on the screen. That is what we call virtual image. What is real image? Which is possible to caught on the screen will be the real image, and if it is not, that is virtual image. The image is laterally inverted. What is meant by laterally inverted? ಉಲ್ಟಾ ಕಾಣೋದು. ಎಸ್, ನಾವು ಬಲಗೈನ ತೋರಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ಮಿರರ್ಗೆ ನಮ್ಗಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಣುವಂತಹ ಇಮೇಜು ಎಡಗೈನ ಇಮೇಜ್ ಥರ ಕಾಣುತ್ತೆ. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಹೀಗಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ದ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಿರರ್, ಲ್ಯಾಟ್ರಲ್ ಇನ್ವರ್ಷನ್. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವೈ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ರೈಟ್ ದ ಆಂಬ್ಯುಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಲೆಟರ್ ಇನ್ ಎ ರಿವರ್ಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾನರ್. ಉಲ್ಟಾಗಿ ಬರಿತೀವಿ, ಹೌದಲ್ವಾ? ಆಂಬ್ಯುಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಎಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ನೆನಪಿದೆ. Let us come to the spherical mirrors. What are spherical mirrors? You know about plane mirror. It is having a plane surface, a plane and polyester surface. What about spherical mirror? If it is curved, then it is a spherical mirror. Or if the mirror is a part of the curved surface or a sphere, will be the spherical mirror. A spherical mirror is a curved mirror which is a part of hollow sphere. A spherical mirrors are two types based on their curvature as well as the reflecting surface. So one is concave mirror and one is convex mirror. So here I am showing you a spoon. So it helps us to identify concave mirror as well as convex mirror. If the reflecting surface is bulged inward or curved inward, will be a concave mirror. So if it is curved outward, will be a convex mirror. You know that concave mirror converges rays of light and convex mirror diverges the rays of light. Here you are seeing, see here the point of convergence you are seeing, here it is the divergence you are seeing in both the picture. So one is indicating concave and another is indicating convex mirror. Let us understand the term which is associated with the spherical mirror. Here we have represented C, F, P and all. What is C? C is center of curvature. So if you are going to extend this curve, we will get a sphere, a hollow sphere. So there is a center for that sphere. That is what we call center of curvature, represented by the letter C. Then reflected rays from the concave mirror will be converges at a point what we call principal focus. Then it is the center of the pole. The center of the curvature will be the center of pole, or which is represented by P, or pole of the mirror. Then the distance between F and P will be the focal length. Then what is the relationship between this radius of curvature to the focal length? Means radius of curvature is always twice the focal length, that is R is equal to 2F. Let us understand images formed by concave mirror. ಈ ಕಾನ್ಕೇವ್ ಮಿರರ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟನ್ನು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಟಾಗ ಇಮೇಜ್ ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಹೇಗಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅದರ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟೀಸ್ ಏನು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನು ಒನ್ ಬೈ ಒನ್ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ. ಮೈ ಡಿಯರ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಯು ನೋ ದಟ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಆಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಟ್ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಇನ್ಫಿನಿಟಿ ಟು ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ F and P. So firstly we are going to place at infinity, then beyond C, then see the image. So here when we are going to place beyond C, then image, then if you are going to place at F, then between F and P, so every time we are getting image, but the image will be at different position with a different nature. Let's learn one by one. The first is image formed by concave mirror when the object is placed at infinity. What is the nature of the image? If the object is at infinity, then image formed at the principal focus. Then what is the nature of the image? It is highly diminished, real and inverted. See, all reflected rays are coming to contact with our principal focus. They are going to be converges at a point what we call principal focus. Here we are getting the image. So this method is used in finding focal length of the concave mirror. Here if the object is at infinity means, so when we are conducting experiment at our school, the building or a tree will be the the object at infinity, we are going to focus either building or a tree to a screen, then we will get a inverted and diminished image, then a real image and a clear image we are going to get. So when we are going to find the distance between capital F, that is principal focus, to the pole of the mirror, will gives us the focal length of the concave mirror. When the object is placed beyond C, the image is formed between C and F. You are seeing here. You can compare the height of the image to the height of the object. You can compare the height of the object to the height of the image. Here it is the length is more and here length is less. It is inverted, and the other important thing is it is a real image. When we place the object beyond C, image found between C and F, it is diminished, real and inverted. You have to remember. Then what happens if we place object exactly at C? C hatra ittaga enaitu? Let us see. See here, reflected rays are going to be meet at a point, and which is at at C only, which is at C only. See here, compare the height of the object to the image. It is same size, inverted and real. When we place the object at C, we will get image at C only. Then what happens if we place between C and F? Here we are going to get the image beyond C. So if we compare the height of the object to the image height will be more when compared to the object. That is enlarged image we are getting. Here also it is inverted, real. Then what happens if we place at F? When we place it at infinity, then image formed will be at F. When we place the object at F, the image formed will be at infinity. Then what is the other two natures of the image? Here they are real and inverted image. What happens if we place between F and P? So when we place the object between F and P, see here the image is formed behind the mirror and it is enlarged, virtual and erect. This phenomenon is used in dental checkup. So here in this case, mirror gives us a virtual image but enlarged image. Even we are going to use this principle in construction of shaving mirrors also, makeup mirrors also. So to obtain the enlarged image of the object. When we get enlarged image in a concave mirror, when we place the object between P and F. You have to remember this thing. See, again I am showing you all ray diagrams. You have to practice this ray diagrams for the point of examination, and while practicing this ray diagrams, you should consider some important things. Which are those? The ray, the object, position of the object, the ray which is parallel to the principal axis, and reflected ray, the ray which is going to be passes through principal focus F, the ray which is going to be passes through center of curvature. So these are some important aspects you have to consider, you have to remember while drawing this ray diagrams. Now come to the image formed by a convex mirror. So here we are going to place object in two different positions. One is at infinity and another is from a particular distance from a mirror. In both the cases we are going to get a virtual image, a diminished image. Here the object is at infinity, so here we are getting at principal focus. So that is when we are going to be draw back the reflected ray, we will get the principal focus in case of convex mirror. So in second case, here the object is placed some distance from a distance from the convex mirror. Here the image is diminished and virtual. So this principle which is involved in the construction of rear view mirrors of the vehicle. Let us go to the next topic, uses of spherical mirrors. The firstly, concave mirrors. As you all know, the uses of concave mirrors. Concave mirrors are used in torches, searchlight and headlights of vehicles to get parallel beam of light. They are used as shaving mirrors to see larger image of the face. They are used by dentists to see larger image of the teeth. The large concave mirrors are used to concentrate sunlight to produce heat in solar furnaces. So, here in this case, the concept of convergence of light, which is going to be utilized to heat the water in a solar furnace. Because of high density of solar light, we are going to produce heat. That heat is going to be used for heating of water. See, here you are seeing some pictures. So, this is a torch, which is you know that we will get a parallel beam of light because of the concave mirror which is used inside it. A searchlight, then headlights of the vehicle, then shaving mirror, then which is used in dental checkup. Here you are seeing the enlarged image. So, when the object is placed between F and P, you will get enlarged image like this. So, here you can see the small variations and the problems of the teeth with the help of the concave mirror. Here solar furnace you are seeing. Let us come to the convex mirrors. Convex, you know that convex mirrors are used as a rear view mirrors. Why it is used so? Convex mirrors give us a erect and diminished image of the objects. They also have a wider field view than plane mirrors. So, that is why instead of plane mirrors, we are going to use convex mirror. Plane mirrors are not used as a rear view mirror because they are not having the wider field view. It will not give us. So, you are seeing an image over here. See here, it is a rear view mirror. See how the wider field view you are seeing here. So, new Cartesian sign convention for spherical mirrors. So, to solve the problems based on the mirrors, we have to know this. We have to know the sign convention, then only it is possible to obtain the correct answer. So, here the object height is given, which is towards y axis, positive side of the y axis, that is why height of the object always positive. Then object is placed on the x axis, negative part of the x axis, that is why object distance is negative, height is positive, but object distance is negative from the pole of the mirror. Here image is formed. In all the cases you have seen, image is formed in the third quadrant. When the object is placed in second quadrant, it is towards negative part of the y axis. Here in this case, the height of the image will be a negative and the distance of the image will be negative. See, now it is easy to understand. So, negative part of the x axis, positive part of the y axis, negative part of the y axis, then positive part of the x axis. Your object as well as image in the negative part of the x axis, that is why v and u value will be minus. Then height here, height of the object is positive, height of the image is negative because of this towards y axis, negative part of the y axis. See, it is this table help you people to take the proper sign while substituting the values for the formula. So, I have given both concave mirror and for convex lens, here u value. See here the sign, u and v value negative, height is positive and height of the image will be negative in case of lens. So, here u will be negative and v will be positive because it is another part of the x axis, it is towards the right side of the x axis, and height of the object is positive and height of the image will be negative because it comes to the fourth quadrant, it is towards the negative part of the y axis. So, this is easy, you can remember easily. Now, let us see the mirror formula as well as the magnification formula. So, mirror formula 1 over f is equal to 1 over v plus 1 over u, then magnification which is given by height of the image to the height of the object, or m is equal to h dash by h, and also it is going to be calculated by taking the ratio of image distance to the object distance with a negative sign, m is equal to minus v by u. So, when we are using mirror formula, so we are going to take positive sign over here negative sign, please keep this in mind. My dear students, feeling easier? Are you recalling all these concepts? Shall I continue next? Okay, let us go to the refraction of light. You have recalled all the phenomena which is going to be taken place under reflection of light. So now we are seeing another important property of the light, that is refraction of light. Then what is refraction? Refraction is nothing but whenever a light is traveling from one medium to the another medium with different densities, it is going to be bent. This phenomena is called refraction of light. So that is when light ray travels obliquely from one transparent medium to another, it gets bent. This bending of light is called refraction of light. So during this refraction, we have to notice two important things. So that is, what happens when the ray of light entering from rarer medium to denser medium? What happens when ray of light entering from a denser medium to a rarer medium? Let's see. When ray of light from a rarer medium to a denser medium, it bends towards the normal. When ray of light traveling from a rarer medium to denser medium, it is going to be bent towards the normal. So here you are seeing here, it is a rarer medium. Rarer medium means medium with lower density, denser medium with higher density. So when compared to air and water, the density of water is more, that is why it is denser medium. Air density is lesser when compared to water, that is why it is rarer medium. So when the ray of light is traveling from rarer medium to denser medium, it is going to be bent towards the normal here. Similarly, when ray of light is from denser medium to rarer medium, what happens? See, it is bending away from the normal. So normal is a perpendicular is drawn from the point of incidence. So let us learn few more things about refraction of light through glass slab. So when ray of light passes through a rectangular glass slab, it gets bent twice at the air and glass interface and at the glass and air interface. That is, here once it is going to be refracted and here also once again it is going to be refracted. Then the emergent ray is parallel to the incident ray and it is displaced through a distance. Let us see how it is going to be displaced. Here I am showing you the incident ray. Here it is the normal which is drawn at the point of incidence. So due to the difference in medium, it is going to be refracted. The ray of light is going to be refracted. The angle between the normal to the refracted ray is angle of refraction. The angle between incident ray as well as the normal will be the angle of incidence. So here again, so if there is no glass slab, so this is the straight line indicates the path of the ray of light if there is no glass slab. Then so here again, due to the change in medium, that is passing from denser medium to the rarer medium, see here also it get refracted. Then here angle E will be the angle of emergence, and this is what the displacement of the ray of light due to the change in medium, and here we have drawn normal. So this is how a ray of light is going to be refracted in a glass slab. Now let us come to the laws of refraction of light. It is known to you. People. Just recall. There are two laws. So one is the incident ray, the refracted ray, and the normal to the interface of two transparent media at the point of incidence all lie in the same plane. That is incident ray, the normal and the refracted ray at the point of interface of two transparent medium. So will all lie on the same plane. The second law says the ratio of the sine of the angle of incidence to the sine of the angle of refraction is constant for the light of a given color and for the given pair of media. So this is also called as a Snell's law. That is, according to the second law, we can write like this: sin I by sin r is equal to constant. So this constant will be the refractive index. Let us come to the spherical lenses. You know that a lens is a part of a sphere, a transparent material which is having at least one curved surface. Here, if the curved surface is like this, will be a convex lens. If the curved surface is like this, will be a concave lens. So here you have played with magnifier. See, Here magnifier I am showing you. See how it is going to be magnify the grains on the tie. See. So here in this case, so this indicates convex lens. Here at the center is thicker and at the edges it is thinner. We are going to differentiate concave lens as well as convex lens based on the surface. If the lens which is thicker at the center and thinner at the edges will be a convex lens. If it is thinner at the center and like this here, if it is thinner at the center and thicker at the edge will be a concave lens. Here convex lens always converges the ray of light, concave lens diverges the rays of light. Let us recall the image formed by a convex lens. My dear student, it is known to you people. Just recall again how we are going to place the object, where we are going to place the object, and what is the nature of the image formed by the lens. It is easier, you can recall now. See, when the object will be placed at infinity, then we will get image at f. Then we are going to place the object beyond 2f, and we are going to place the object at 2f and between f and 2f, at f and between f and o. So in all these cases we are going to get the images at different distances into the opposite direction of the lens with the different heights. So let us learn one by one. See what happens when the object is placed at infinity. So when we place at infinity, we will get the image at principal focus of the convex lens. Then this is the method which is used to identify the focal length of the convex lens. So in this case, what are the properties of the image formed by the convex lens? It is highly diminished, real and inverted. So what happens if we place beyond 2f? After the infinity we are going to place the object beyond 2f. So here is the object, then the ray of light which is going to be passes through the lens. So one is through the optic center, then there converges. Here the position of the image will be at f2 as well as 2f2. Compare the height of the object to the image, it is diminished, right, because height is the height is bigger when compared to this. So what is other two properties of the image? Again it is real and inverted image. You are seeing ulta, right? Yes, let us go to the another. Where we are going to place? Definitely at 2f. What happens if you place at 2f? Definitely image formed on the other side of the lens, and it is at 2f2 only. That is, just you should compare here also the height of the object as well as the image. Here you are seeing the same height of the image when compared to the object. Here when we place the object at 2f, image will be formed at 2f only. Then what are the other two property? It is real as well as inverted. So when we place between f and 2f, definitely image formation beyond 2f, here the image is larger, is it not? Yes, it is enlarged image, and real image and inverted image we are going to obtain from this case. Then what happens if we place it at f? So when the object is at infinity, we are going to get the image at f. If the object is at f, we are going to get the image at infinity. It is also real and inverted. And lastly, we are going to place between f and o. So in this case, we are going to get the image at the same side of the lens. It is enlarged, virtual and erect image we are going to see. It is enlarged, virtual and erect image. So my dear student, for the point of view of examination, you have to practice all these diagrams. Let us come to the image formed by a concave lens. Here we are going to place the object in two different places. One is at infinity. When we are going to place at infinity, the image will going to be diverged. Draw back the diverted rays. We will get a point on the principal axis, that is what we call principal focus. That will be the distance between f and o will be the focal length of the concave lens. Then we are going to, if we are going to place some distance from the concave lens, the object will be formed between f and o. It is diminished and erect and a virtual image. Both of the cases we are going to get a virtual image. So this is the sign convention you have to again recall to solve the problem. So it is, I have shown you already, it is known to you, height positive, your object distance is negative, image distance is positive, then height of the image will be negative because it is downwards. So just remember all these things. Now come to the lens formula. So lens formula is 1 over f is equal to 1 over v minus 1 over u, where f is focal length, v is image distance, u is object distance, and magnification is going to be calculated with the help of height of the image to the height of the object. By taking the ratio of these two things, we will get magnification, that is also represented by m is equal to h dash by h, then which is also going to be calculated by taking the ratio of image distance to the object distance. Here the sign is negative, here the sign is positive. It is just quite reverse when compared to the mirror formula. Let us solve a problem using lens formula. My dear student, read the question and note down the data which is given in the question. The data which is given are image distance v, that is minus 10 centimeter. The focal length is given, that is 15 centimeter. Here f is minus 15 because of it is a concave lens. Then object distance we have to calculate, that is u is equal to question mark, formula, mirror formula, lens formula we are using, 1 over f is equal to 1 over v minus 1 over u. So substitute the value of f, that is minus 15, v is minus 10, and you have to calculate. Then after the simplification, after transposing this u to the left hand side and by taking minus 1 over 15 to the right hand side, we will get like this, 1 over minus 10 minus 1 over minus 15. So then after further simplification, 1 over u is equal to minus 1 over 10. So this is minus into minus becomes plus, plus 1 over 15. Then LCM for 10 and 15 is 30. Then numerator becomes minus 3 and plus 2. Then after further simplification, 1 over u is equal to minus 1 by 30. After taking reciprocal for u, that is u is equal to minus 30 centimeter. This means that the object distance is minus 30 centimeter, and the magnification is going to be calculated by using formula v by u. So v value is minus 10 which is given in the data, and u value is minus 30 centimeter we have calculated now. Then cancel minus and minus sign, 0 and 0, we will get 1 over 3. Then how to interpret the answer? It is very simple. The positive sign shows that image is erect and virtual, and the image is 1/3 of the size of the object. That means here we are getting a diminished image since it is a concave lens. Now come to the very important part of the lesson, that is power of the lens. You know that, my dear student, power of lens is going to be calculated by taking the reciprocal of the focal length, that is power of the lens is the reciprocal of its focal length, that is which is in meter. The value should be in meters, that is P is equal to 1 over f. The SI unit of power is diopter, which is going to be denoted by capital letter D. 1 diopter is the power of a lens whose focal length is 1 meter. Then the power of a convex lens is positive and power of a concave lens is always negative. So you know that the marking of plus 2D, plus 3D, plus 5D, similarly minus 5D, minus 3D, minus 2D, like this. So this is how we are going to represent the power of the concave lens as well as convex lens. So this is very important in the correction of short-sightedness as well as long-sightedness. You have learnt in the lesson Human Eye and Colorful World. Just remember it. My dear students, I hope all of you have recalled well and you are capable to answer for any questions which is going to be appear from this lesson. Maybe a question, or maybe a numerical problem, or maybe application level question, whatever it may be. Definitely you can write a perfect answer, and I request you to keep on studying, and please again go through the textbook, identify the important points there, underline them and make a small note, and again I suggest you to prepare well. Wish you all the best.
ಭೀತಿ ತೊರೆಯುವ ನಾವು ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆ ಬರೆಯುವ ಪರೀಕ್ಷಾವಾಣಿಯ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿ ಕಲಿಯುವ. ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆಗಳೆಂದರೆ ಮೇಲಿನ ತೊಗಟೆ, ವಿದ್ಯೆ ಅದರ ಒಳಗಿನ ತಿರುಳು. ಭೀತಿ ತೊರೆಯುವ ನಾವು ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆ ಬರೆಯುವ, ಪರೀಕ್ಷಾವಾಣಿಯ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿ ಕಲಿಯುವ, ಪರೀಕ್ಷಾವಾಣಿಯ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿ ಕಲಿಯುವ, ಪರೀಕ್ಷಾವಾಣಿ